Hi everyone, Elisa with Jots Designs. In this video, I will be using Let's Resin's black resin. It's a 1-to-1 ratio resin measured by volume, and it gives you a solid black. And that way you don't have to worry about taking the time to mix your own color or even having the pigment on hand. I'll be using this oval tray mold. I've got a temporary tattoo I'll be using as decoration, along with chameleon pigment powder. These are Baltic Day pigments, but please feel free to use the discount codes I have listed in the description for the Let's Resin pigments if you'd like. I just don't have any on hand to show you for this video. I'll be using an eyeshadow applicator to spread the pigment around. Other items I have for this project are a measuring cup and stir stick, water to apply the tattoo, paper towel pieces, and I always have isopropyl alcohol if I should need to clean up any resin off of something. I'm making little snips in the paper to help me place the tattoo down straight using the support pieces on the underside of the mold as guides. With the temporary tattoos, you peel off the clear plastic layer, then place the tattoo face down on your surface. This is where you need to be careful. Try to have it where you want it before touching the surface, as 99% of the time it will start to stick right away and you won't be able to move it without damaging it if you pull it up. Once you have it placed, thoroughly wet a paper towel and lay that on top. Gently press it down to ensure the tattoo is wet, then let it sit for about 30 seconds, then you can remove the backing paper gently. I have another video I've done this in where I place the tattoo onto the already poured and cured tray. You can do it either way, but keep in mind that if you do it this way, you will be seeing the back side of the tattoo. It's possible you won't have the same colors, or they may be muted, or as in this case, not as solid as the front side. Once I got that stuck down, I gently applied some paper towel to pick up the excess water, and then I used my airbrush to fully dry it. You can use a can of air, or just wait for the water to fully evaporate before moving on. Then I picked out a color. I chose the purple, red, orange, yellow. Then I use the applicator to surround the tattoo with a cloud of color. You can tilt the mold to be able to see where you've applied it until you're satisfied with the results. When you're mixing your resin, you want to make sure you're using calibrated measuring cups like these TCP cups. Beware of cups sent with many resin products. They're not always accurate. You can always make your own by using medicine cups to measure out each ounce and mark it on a cup, then use that cup as a template to mark a new cup whenever you have a project to do. Whenever I have new bottles of resin, I like to mark my resin caps so I don't get them accidentally mixed up and possibly seal one shut. As with any resin, you want to mix thoroughly for 3 to 5 minutes, scraping the sides, the bottom, and your stick. Since this is already colored, you will not be able to see what I call wispies to tell if it's mixed or not. So add in another minute or two just to be sure. Since I'm using a mold, I used a plastic stir stick and stirred gently without whipping the resin, which would create more bubbles. I then let it sit for about 5 minutes to help degas. Beware when you're letting your resin sit in the mixing container. The more resin you have in your mixing container, or the warmer your room is, or if you warmed up your resin beforehand, things like that, then you have more chances of flash curing. Keep an eye on it, and if it starts to warm up, then I'd suggest getting it poured or at least broken up into smaller cups. Then I get it poured into the mold. What I always forget to do is pour just a little bit and then get the bubbles out and then pour some more. So what I did is I used a silicone brush to help go around the edges to try to get out any bubbles that might be in there. I made 6 ounces of resin, which was just a little more than I needed, so I added the rest to this cute little heart dish mold. This one I was able to tap down on the table to help release any bubbles. And again, I wish I had paid attention and added the resin to the larger mold in less quantity at a time. And that way I could have done the same with that as well. I used a torch to get rid of bubbles, but definitely be careful when using a torch as you can cause the mold to stick to your resin, which I'll show you when I demold. You can use a heat gun also, but be careful you don't blow the resin out of your mold or hold it too long in one spot for the same reason as the torch. Now to demold. Here you can see that a small bit of the mold did stick to the resin, and again, it could be from me using the torch and the heat gun combined, or even just the heat gun being held in one spot for too long. There's really no way to tell. Just keep in mind to be careful. I do love how it turned out with the cloud of chameleon powder around the tattoo. As I mentioned before, this is the back side of the tattoo, so it's a bit broken up and not as solid as the front was. I think it gives it a bit of texture, so I do like it. I will seal this with a little clear resin, which you can see done in this video linked in the description, or it should pop up in the upper right hand corner here too. I'll also add just a little clear to the back as well to make it flat and fill in the raised bit caused by the mold. I hope you try out this black resin from Let's Resin. It's a perfect black, and it saves you the extra step of mixing in some paste or even having to have the paste at all. Let us know what you think about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.